It has always been a dream of mine to be in a cage with a shark. So, what's it like to be in a cage with a shark?
Well, anytime being around a shark is amazing. Being in the cage is a surreal experience. I mean, some people can spend hours down there. Others, they get in the water and they're in this box, and it's intimidating. But it's definitely it's a bucket list thing for many people. And what a super way to have like a thrill and an amazing experience while at the same time contributing to science. Because while we're on the boat, we are collecting scientific data, and the boat essentially ecotourism funds the research. So if the boat doesn't go out, then we don't get to do research to help conserve sharks. So every person who comes on the boat, they get to cage dive for science.
That's awesome. So, what else do you do as part of your regular duties on the day when you're taking people out to do research?
So when we head out of uh, people will board the boat. We give a briefing. Then we head out to a special location that we've selected where we think our chances of encountering a shark are high, and we'll involve the guests in taking water temperatures, visibility measurements, and then we then will deploy our cage, put bait in the water, and wait a while to bring in a shark. And during that time, we educate people about sharks, shark biology, shark research, shark conservation. We do like trivia, shark trivia, which is kind of a fun way to educate people. We do show and tell while we wait for the sharks to show up. And once the sharks show up, we get in the water and we do rotations. Everyone gets to see the sharks, and we document the number of different sharks we see, the species, the length, the sex of the shark, if there's any um, unique identification marks, and also if the sharks are showing any signs of injury or have hook wounds or entanglements with plastic or human debris. And we note all that information as part of our database, and we take photographs of it, and all of that goes towards our data monitoring.
That's amazing. Do you guys also tag them on the same day when you're out there?
Depends on the species, yeah. So we are doing research on great white sharks. So the species we get include blue sharks, mako sharks, poor beagles, and great whites. And for the great whites, we do tag them, and so we don't hook the sharks to tag them. So we are coming up with kind of innovative ways to be able to tag a free swimming shark without actually having to restrain them at all.
So, what kind of methods do you do that so that the shark doesn't get hurt when you're doing it, tagging?
Yes, so we're last year we focused on using a pole that in the end of like a long pole had a clamping system, like a spring-loaded clamp with a tag on that we would try to get it on the dorsal fin of the shark. That proved to be very challenging because you have to have the perfect angle, and the shark has to be really close by and has to be above the surface. And the biggest issue is, when you have a long pole with something heavy dangling on the end, it's really hard to keep it steady. And being the
Especially in
one
the
who was
wave.
doing the tagging, yeah, that wasn't easy. So you could basically touch the fin, but like just be off by a centimeter, and that's not good enough. So we're looking at ways next year to do it differently. I think we might actually use kind of a specialized tag that we can deploy with like a with like a well, I'm not going to get into it, but we'll see. Let's first get the permits, but we're coming up with a pretty cool way to deploy it.
I'm interested to see that. I would love to actually help you tag a shark. That
That
would
would be
be
cool to
huge.
have you on the boat while we tag a shark for sure.
That would be a huge bucket list thing for me. I mean, I've first of all, let's dispel some myths about sharks, like and their danger, and because everybody, I talked to an experienced diver the other day. Actually, he's a really advanced instructor. And for instance, he was terrified as a child from Jaws. So his first reaction, "You're nuts. Yeah, I'm not going in a cage. No way." And yet he's hand fed sharks and stuff. But to put him in a cage, forget it.
Well, the thing about being in the cage, I think it's a really easy way to observe sharks because you don't even have to really know how to swim because you're contained, right? So I think a lot of people are scared that, what they've seen in some movies, not just Jaws, but that the cage could somehow get dislodged from the boat and dropped to the bottom of the ocean, which is not going to happen. Only in the movies. Our cage is connected to the boat. I mean, it's literally mounted to the boat. The top of the cage actually sticks out of the surface of the water. It's about a foot above the water, so you could be in the cage, and if you wanted to, lift your head out of the water. So we communicate with everyone who's in the cage, because they can lift their head out. We can say, "Hey, how you doing?" And then they kind of crouch down and have the experience of the shark swimming by. So it's not a scary experience. I mean, the biggest, if anything, if the boat is obviously a moving platform, you got the waves ocean, so you could bang into the side of the cage, but that's the biggest risk you face, is actually making contact with the cage. Not It has nothing to do with the shark, and it's certainly nothing to do with the cage coming loose or anything like that. It's a super safe experience, and it's definitely a surreal one.
Well, that's good to know because I mean, my wife, as much as she promotes me diving, I'm sure would like me to come back alive from doing a cage dive. So,
Yeah, we try to bring most of the passengers back, at least the ones we like.
oh well, that's good. So I'll remember to stand your bad side so I don't become shark bait. Because with my leg and stuff, I'll look like an injured fish anyway. Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the Deadfoot Diver. Subscribe and share. Your support means the world to me. If you'd like to contribute directly, you can do so at the link in the description at buymeacoffee.com/deadfootdiver. Every donation helps me work towards earning my adaptive dive buddy certification, travel costs to help me assist other adaptive divers, and covering further training and equipment costs, bringing you on even more exciting adventures. Don't forget to check out my guest links in the description. And remember, grab an adventure and live.